Welcome back to the kitchen. I'm going to try to cook something again today. Hopefully I won't screw the video up as much as I did the last video. Speaking of the last video, this recipe is based on the same book. It came out of the same book that I mentioned in the last video. The last video was about, easy no-knead bread from a guy named Artisan Steve. So if you haven't seen that video and you're interested, it'll be linked up here probably. Anyway, we'll see. Here, it might be down here. Anyway, we'll link it somewhere. So go back and check out that video if you're interested in a really easy and very few ingredient way to make bread. But today is pizza day. And so I got a pizza crust recipe out of the book that we bought from Artisan Steve. And like I said, I'll link the book in the description below in case you're interested. And so I haven't made this yet, so you guys get to see me screw this up for the first time in front of everybody. But what I figured out is if this bread goes well, then to make two 16-inch pizzas, and they're just going to be cheese pizzas. I'm going to keep it super simple, mostly because we don't have a lot of stuff in the pantry right now and in the refrigerator because it's quarantine time and we're running out of food. But I am going to make two 16-inch pizzas that'll cost about what one Little Caesars pizza costs. So if you're interested in that, come on and see how I do it and check it out and check Steve's book out. And remember that, we're making these as cheese pizzas because we're really low on ingredients, but you can doctor your pizza up and add as many meats and veggies as you want to and just make it totally yours. We don't have anything to put on our pizza but cheese and pizza sauce, so ours is going to be super simple. I'm mostly interested in trying out this crust recipe and seeing if it's easy to make and if I can do it, see if if it's easy to make. And like I said, it's very cost effective. It doesn't take a lot of ingredients. It takes water, flour, salt, and yeast, and olive oil. Most of those ingredients you may already have in your kitchen. So come along and let's see how I do. Oh, one more thing. There's two methods to making this pizza dough. You can either make it the traditional way, which would mean that your dough would have to proof for 8 to 24 hours or like overnight. But we don't have time for that because our tummies are growling and we're going to need some pizza pretty soon. So we're going to do ours the turbo method. It's Steve's turbo method. And the way you do the turbo method is you're going to heat your water up. You're going to heat the bowl up that you mix it in, and you're going to add more yeast. And that way your dough for your pizza dough will proof in only an hour and a half. So as soon as I mix this thing up, I proof it for an hour and a half, and then I can go ahead and make my little pizzas. They're going to be about that big. I can make my pizzas and I can go ahead and bake them, and we can have pizza, in about 2 hours. So let's see how I do. Okay, so we're going to start by just taking our glass bowl and we're going to warm it up just under some warm water in the sink. I'm going to need something to dry it off with. So you can get your water nice and warm. Maybe we'll fast forward this part, huh? Oh, there it is. It's getting warm. Just going to run the bowl under. And you don't really have to do the outside of the bowl. What you want to do is get the inside of the bowl nice and warm so that it'll keep your water that you're going to put in the bowl and your yeast nice and warm and toasty. All right, so we do that. Let's dry it off a little bit and put it over here on the counter. And then we're going to need some water. And we want the water to be warm too, but you don't want it to be hot. Like right now, it's getting a little hot. We don't want it hot, so we're going to add a little cooler water to it. You want this water to be, where it wouldn't burn a baby. Probably it's warm, but it's not so hot that you can't leave your finger in it. So we're going to go ahead and get the water that we need. And for the exact ingredients and information, you will want to check out Steve's book. It's not expensive. The ebook, I think I paid maybe less. I know I paid less than $10 for it. So he's a nice guy, so do him a favor and buy his book and give it a try yourself. Okay, so you put your water in the dish. Not quite, I got a little bit too much. All right, so you pour your water into the bowl, and now we're going to add our other ingredients. Come on over here and see if you can see what I'm doing. Having a little issues with my tripod today. It's feeling a little bit tired. Wake up, tripod. Okay, so there we are. So let's add the rest of our ingredients. It's also going to call for salt. So we're going to add the salt. And I always just catch my salt in a container because I'm a spiller. So I always like just catch the extra. That. And I'll just take some of the extra. Add your salt. That way I don't lose any, don't waste any. Because you know it's quarantine time. We don't know when we're going to be able to order salt again or buy salt again. Then we add, I'm using rapid rise yeast. Can you see that? So then we add our yeast. And this is like a lot more yeast than you would normally use for the regular method. It boosts, that way it'll just go a lot faster for you. If you were making this using the standard method that Steve recommends, you wouldn't need nearly this much yeast. So there's that. Let me check my book real quick and make sure. Okay, we can go ahead and add the extra virgin olive oil as well. And there it goes. And we're going to give all of this a stir. Stir it up nice and yummy. All you're doing is stirring it to combine it. So nothing fancy here. I wasn't prepared. I need somewhere to put my spoon. Alright, so then you add your flour. Make sure I add the right amount of flour. We're going to add that right now. And the flour I'm using, you can use bread flour or you can use all-purpose. You are not supposed to use all-purpose. You're not supposed to use self-rising for this. It will either be bread flour or all-purpose. We could not get bread flour, so we're using all-purpose. I just can't wait to live in a world again where we can go to the grocery store and pick up flour and yeast, and there's actually going to be some on the shelf. But I want to say my son works in the grocery business, and so he is considered essential, and he's out there working really hard to make sure that his customers have everything they could possibly need. So I'm not complaining because you guys are working hard and you're risking your lives for us out there to make sure we have enough food to eat. So thank you, grocery workers, and all the other people, like policemen, law enforcement, all the people that are having to work during this thing. Thank you to all of you. And to my husband, who's also law enforcement as well, who's considered essential, thank you for what you do. So all you people that are out there still working and risking your lives for us, I guess we don't have that much to complain about, do we? We're lucky that we're well and hung and able to make a little pizza dough. Alright, so now we're going to take the wrong end of the spatula. Sorry, I have to use my glasses when I'm reading because I don't see that good without them. But then they put this terrible glare on the film and you guys don't want to see that. But according to Steve, you use the wrong end of the spoon to do your stirring of your dough. So let's stir this dough. Kind of messy. And you're going to stir it till you get sort of a shaggy looking dough. Unlike a Scooby looking dough, apparently. You want the shaggy dough. I'm sorry, I'm full of dad jokes today. Just ignore me. And it can be kind of messy. I like mess, so it's kind of fun because I like messiness. But you're going to stir it and combine your ingredients until you get a nice, see how shaggy it looks? Good shaggy dough. Like that. Now, then we're going to use a spatula to clean your spoon off because that's just kind of gross looking at it. Anyway, My recommendation is don't get a spoon with a hole in the end. I got a spoon with a hole in the end, and now I get dough in my spoon hole. That just doesn't sound right. But anyway, sometimes it could be a little pain to get out. But so if I were you, I would just use a regular like wooden spoon or something that didn't have a hole in it. Anyway, so now you're going to take your spatula and you're just going to scrape around your bowl, because what you want to do is make sure all of the flour got incorporated and mixed in. And it doesn't, this is not rocket science. This is just, clean your bowl up with your spatula. Make sure your dough looks nice, doesn't it? You see it? Looks really nice. Now all we have to do, let this dough rest for an hour and a half. The official term is proofing, but I like resting, so I'm going to let my dough rest while I go rest. So I'll be back in an hour and a half, and we will turn this into 2 16-inch pizza crusts. Coming right back. Well, oops, I forgot to tell you, you have to cover this. And there's one more thing I'm going to do. You don't have to do this other thing, but I'm going to do it, because this is northern Michigan, and it's a little cold here. So what we're going to do first, we're going to just put a little, we could put a little saran wrap on this bad boy. Sorry, I'm from the South. We call it saran wrap. We're going to put plastic wrap over this. And then you can just leave it on your countertop, but since it's a little drafty in here today, one of the things Steve recommends is, he said, look how messy that is. Plastic wrap and I are not the best of friends, I'm not going to lie. But what you can do is you can turn the light, come here and let's talk. So what you can do is, after you get your saran wrap on it, or your, plastic wrap, let's be more appropriate, you can actually turn the light on in your oven. Don't turn the oven on, you don't want to melt your plastic wrap, but turn the light on, and the heat from the light bulb will, and it being in the oven, will help it proof. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over there to the oven, if I can figure out how to use that oven. So right now, and just stick this in the oven for an hour and a half, just with the light on, not the oven, just the light. I'll see you guys in an hour and a half, okay? Hey everybody, it's been an hour and a half, so the dough is finished proofing, so I'm going to get it out of the oven. If you remember right, I had it in the oven with the light on, and no heat or anything, just the light on. And the bread's gotten all nice and fluffy. It's proofed up. So now what we're going to do is degas the bread. I crack up every time I say that. Just, you just have to know me to know why I think that's so funny. But it's a technique. So I'm going to degas the bread, which just basically means let's break some of these air bubbles up. And we're going to put it on a pan. And we're going to put some toppings on it and put it in the oven. So let's go over here and degas. Actually, first I'm going to preheat the oven. Okay, everybody, so we're going to preheat the oven to 450 degrees, and then we will do the whole degassing and making the pizza on the pizza pan while the oven is preheating. So let me do that real quick. And now we're just going to take the plastic wrap or cellophane off. We're going to take the wrong end of our spoon, wrong end, and we're going to just pull it towards us. This is degassing according to Steve, and you just keep pulling it towards you, and it's going to basically get those air bubbles all taken care of. Going to break up some of the, release some of the air and gas out of the dough. Just pull it towards you. And my method is probably not as good as his, so watch his videos because he does a really nice job with his technique. And there we go. So now Now the dough is all degassed, and we're just going to clean it up a little bit. Nice and clean now. And we're going to add a few tablespoons of flour to our work surface here. And I'm doing big ones, probably don't need that much. So a couple of tablespoons of flour. Gotta spread that around a little bit. Got to get dirty here. Now, Just dump your pizza dough right there onto your work surface. Get a little flour on your hands. And I'm not kneading it. I'm just getting some flour on it so I can, whoop, does look like kneading, doesn't it? Just trying to make it not stick to my board so much. What'd be really good here is one of those pastry scrapers. I don't have one of those here. I have one at my other house. Don't have one here, so we're gonna use the spatula to sort of pastry scrape it up here. But even the dollar store has those little pastry scrapers. I don't know if the ones at the dollar store are very good, but they do have them if you want to try them. And so now I've kind of made there's my dough for the pizza, and this is enough for 2 pizzas. So what we'll be doing is we'll be dividing this in half. Just gonna use a knife to do that. Maybe not. Okay, I'm gonna use a metal spatula, but like I said, if you had a pastry scraper, that would do a nice job of cutting this dough in half. And you put, so you have 2 balls of dough, 1 for each pizza. I don't want to mess with this dough too much. So now we're gonna go get our pizza pan. Actually, why don't we move over here? All right, everybody, walk over here to the other side of the kitchen. Hopefully the lighting will be good enough. Now you can see the pizza pan right there. Now, my directions do not say to oil this pan. I am nervous about that. I'm very nervous about that because I don't like pizza sticking to my pans. It takes forever to get because I'm hungry and I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight with my pizza dough, my pizza. But let's see, can you see what I'm doing here? So now I'm just gonna, this is a 16-inch pizza pan. You pray for me. I'm going to try and spread this dough out thin all over the pan. Can you see? Let's see if we can get that. Take 2. All right, so I was having a fit with that dough. I don't think I had enough flour on it to make it work very well for me. We're gonna try this again with the second half of the dough. I put the first half back in the little, what's that thing called? Back in the bowl so I can make something else, make another pizza out of that. So we're just gonna see if we can't salvage the second half of the dough and wish me luck. So I've moved the pan back over here and it's a hot mess over here, so y'all just ignore. But here's what we have here. I'm just gonna keep messing with this dough and see if I can't get it to stretch out a little bit so it's not so hard to work with. And then, wish me luck, I'm gonna try and stretch it over here. Let's get this out of the way. There. Now, are we in frame? Yeah. Now maybe we can do a little bit better job of making this dough fit on this pan. It's supposed to be a thin crust pizza, so it really should be rolled out pretty thin on the pan. And I do have some flour to keep my hands not, keep them from not sticking. Do it one more time so I can stretch it out a little bit more. Like I said, watch Steve's video because I guarantee you he's not struggling like this. Yeah, I'm a newbie at this, so we're gonna try our best. This is a weird ass looking, it looks way better than it did a while ago, this second attempt. So I'm gonna stretch it a little bit and pull it to the sides. Stretch it a little bit and pull it to the sides. You know what they say? They say the more irritating a dough is to work with. And this is, I promise you, this is probably used error. This has nothing to do with this recipe probably. We'll see how it tastes too, right? Probably tastes beautiful if it tastes like that bread I made. But they do say that the more challenging a dough is to work with, the better it tastes. I've heard that from several people now. And now, whoops, we're gonna stretch it out. This isn't gonna be the most beautiful pizza you ever saw in your life. And we're gonna, they're not gonna be hiring me down at Tony's Pizza anytime soon. But maybe with practice, I'll get good at this. Hey, when you save this much money on a pizza, it's worth it to just keep practicing till you get good at it. Now I'm going to try and cover up. There are some little areas that are kind of, I call them weak spots. They'll probably just do fine once they start rising in the oven. But there, see, I covered up the weak spots. That's as good as my pizza is going to get, as good as mine's going to get. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add some sauce. What I did was I had a block of mozzarella cheese and I just grated it up nice and fresh. And I'm going to just use store-bought pizza sauce. In the future, I think I'm going to try making my own pizza sauce because I could even save even more money that way. So I'm going to use the other side of my spoon. So what I'm going to do with the pizza sauce is I was going to try to do the kind of the circular motion that they do when they make pizzas, but as you can see, mine did not go so well. It should take about half of one of these or less. Depends on how saucy you like it. My daughter, she likes her pizzas really saucy. She doesn't like as much cheese as she likes sauce. So she would like it if I put more, probably. Just spread it around. And it really doesn't take a lot of sauce, like I said, unless you just like it saucy. But there it goes. Got our sauce on there. Maybe for her, I'll add another squeeze. Just another little bit. And now there's plenty to make another pizza in there. I think I paid $1.99 for this. And then the crust costs hardly anything to make. I think the crust might have cost me less than $1 to make both crusts. Just in there. And then the cheese was like $1.79 for the whole block. And I didn't use, it's not going to take a whole block. Actually, you could probably, with 2 pizzas, you probably could use a whole block of this. But like I said, we don't like as much cheese as we like the dough and the sauce. So put some cheese on your pizza. And there's that one, ready to go in the oven. We're gonna bake this pizza for about 15 minutes. I'm gonna keep an eye on it because I don't have very many toppings, so I'm gonna keep an eye on mine. So, well, let's go back over here to, yeah, there we are. Let's put it in the center of the oven. Ouch. And in about 15 minutes, we'll check on it again. Pizza number 2. We're gonna convect this. Let's see if pizza number 1 is ready. Almost. Getting close. Okay, I think we're done. Let's get it out. So what do you think? What do you think? I'm gonna try to hold it because it will slide off of this. What do you think? Let's give it a try, shall we? Oh, real quick. The second pizza that I made with the dough that was messing up, the dough I was having trouble with, I made it into a second pizza. We only have one of these really cool round pans, so I put it in a rectangle pan, and this is sort of a surprise for my daughter because I was able to find some pineapple in the cabinet, and she absolutely loves pineapple cheese pizzas, so this one is a surprise for her. Well, let's see if I can cut this thing. Well, it sounds like pizza. That was not the best cut. Stay still, pizza. once again. Not exactly an Italian here. Let's see if it'll cut. But it's cutting. There we go. It is cutting. So let's see how it tastes. Want a bite? Want a bite? Ooh. Actually tastes pretty good. It kind of reminds me of when, sorry, talking about my mouthful. Kind of reminds me of one of the pizzerias back home in Mooresville. So, yeah. This recipe, definitely a keeper. Thanks, Steve. And you guys come over sometime. Let's have some pizza. And I'm sorry about talking with my mouthful. Love you all. See you next time.